Good morning. Today's hike is a little bit different. In the past, I've spent some time and had some communications with a fella that's setting an age record on a certain long trail. And it could be that if everything lines up, I might be able to hike with him for a day or two or three. And I need to know that I can at least cover those kind of miles with a pack on. So today I'm out, not so much for photos, although I'm sure I'll shoot some. But I'm out just to cover some miles with a pack on and make sure that I'm ready to do it if everything lines up that I can join him. So let's go for a hike and see how this goes. This is by no means my first long hike. I've done many longer hikes without too many big issues other than one time. It's just that I haven't done them for a while, so I'm gonna go out and see how this goes. As I said, I will not be stopping for as many photos as I normally do. I'm doing the distance and I'm timing it. I will not be surprised to see deer on this walk, especially as brisk of a pace as I'm going here. There's no hunting allowed here anyway, so I think they know that it's safe. Okay, there's the first doe walking through the woods up there. I didn't think it'd take long. Oh, there's two of them. It's interesting the way the deer function out here. If I would have been out here just sneaking through the woods, they would not have stood still for photos. But since I'm walking, that's a behavior they're used to. So they just stood there and let me walk by. And then I paused and snapped a couple of photos. And by the way, there were what I would assume was a doe with two young. And then there were a couple of other deer nearby. I'd like to see a buck, a big buck, but I don't know if I will. I found my first deer scrape. That means we've got a buck in the area somewhere. This is fresh. Look at all this dirt kicked up. Wonder if he's watching me. And maybe I'll find him. If I find a rub in the trees, I'll show you. Now you'll notice there's a good number of trees that toppled recently. Well, with as much wind as we get, it's no wonder. Here we've got some interesting fungi on this tree. Boy, this is going to be a tough hike to do for time, because I have to document these. A couple of quick pictures and I'll be back on my way. I knew going into this it was going to be tough to hike more than shoot pictures. but I'm gonna give it my best shot. Look at the size of this tree that went down. Wow. I bet that made some noise. Cracking and taking out branches from other trees. Wow. Power of nature. I can't think of the last time that I have stayed on the trail the entire time when I came out here. Normally I get off trail a little bit when I'm walking, just to find interesting things. And look at this. More fungi. I don't think I'll take pictures of these. I see deer outlines way up ahead. That was one thing I learned when I deer hunted. Don't look for the complete deer, look for horizontal lines. In the timber, you don't see a lot of horizontal lines. And maybe you can see them. This camera makes it hard since it's so wide angle. But there's at least 2, and they appear to be does. And more fungi. I will stop if I find special fungi. And I don't know how to define special. Oh, there's 3 does up there. That's probably the ones they kicked up earlier. I'll provide a few details about this hike. So I'm at Ingowanis Woodland between Denver and Janesville. And this property is near and dear to my heart. The former Bremer County Conservation Director, Frank Frederick, and I did quite a bit of work to raise the funds to purchase this property. And as you can see, there's a established trail. People get out here, mostly fat tire or single track bike riders come out here, but you do occasionally or frequently see hikers and walkers out here, runners too. But this is a special place. I've never come out here and not seen something worth photos. What on earth is this? Huh. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look it up. Click on the barcode. Curiosity got the best of me, so I went back and scanned the barcode, and it's a link to make financial donations to support Ingowanis Woodland. It's certainly an attention getter. My theory on this conditioning effort is that for today's trip, I am wearing my photo equipment backpack. I weighed this and compared it to my backpacking backpack, and there's only a pound or 2 difference. So since I'm out here where I might want to take pictures, I'm wearing the photo backpack. Now, if it looks like it's going to work out that I get to hike with my with the older fellow, then I'll do a trip or 2 out here wearing the other pack just to make sure that everything is set and it's comfortable. I believe it will be, since I've used it already at Terry Hennessy at Yellow River State Forest, but it's always good to check. So the weight differences or lack of were interesting. I didn't realize I was carrying so much camera equipment. But when I pick that bag up to go out, I do know that it's heavy. So it is what it is. It gives me a couple different ways of conditioning. But just look at how pretty this is out here. Sorry to kind of distract from explaining packs, but it's just gorgeous. Look at the early morning light in those leaves. Isn't that pretty? Wow. I wonder how long they'll be on the trees. We really lost a lot of leaves this weekend. This is really nice. The hike that I'm hoping to do, at least the fellow I'm hoping to hike with, is Dale Greybeard Sanders. When Dale, or Greybeard, depending how you know him, when he set the record as the oldest person to, clarification on that, when he reclaimed the record as the oldest person to paddle the Mississippi River from source to sea. I paddled with him one day with a buddy of mine. We paddled when he entered Iowa from Minnesota on the Mississippi. And it was a good day. And I tell you what, at 87, that guy could go. So I'm not sure how he's doing on foot, but I would expect that he doesn't lollygag. So that's the reason I want to be able to do this at a pretty good clip. Because I'm used to going out with a camera, walk a little ways, stop and shoot pictures for a while, walk a little ways, repeat. I don't think it'll be that way hiking with Dale, but I don't know. Hopefully I'll get to find out. The section of trail that I want to hike with Dale is the south part going through the Smoky Mountains on the Appalachian Trail. So many years ago, another buddy and I, we attempted to hike from the north part of the Smoky Mountains down to the southern end of it. So one foot was in Tennessee and one foot was in North Carolina on our trip. And about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days into the trip, I blew my right knee out and it locked up. There was no bending it whatsoever. And I subsequently had to have surgery to repair it, which is why I can't run, because I have no lining in my knee. But anyway, the stretch that I want to hike with Dale is from the Newfound Gap Road to Fontana Dam. And I don't care if I do it northbound or if I do it southbound, but I want to do that stretch. I want to do that stretch somehow, some way. Ideally it'd be with Dale, but if not, I'll do it another way, another time. But I want to do that so that when I can no longer hike, and I can at least say that I've hiked the entire Smoky Mountains on the Appalachian Trail. I know that's just a small stretch of the Appalachian Trail, but to me it's significant and would be quite an accomplishment after all these years. So we'll see if it happens or not. Many things, many details have to line up because we're approaching Thanksgiving. It could be into December. I don't know if it'll work out. We'll see. When I last talked to Dale, he said he wouldn't probably know until a day ahead of time. So I don't know. As of last night, he was still a couple 100 miles away from that stretch, which at 8 to 10 miles a day gives me about 3 weeks to get this figured out. And that means that I have a clear schedule as well. The bigger challenge is Thanksgiving is coming too, and I want to be with my family. My family has more importance than doing this hike. So we'll see. If my watch is accurately measuring my distance traveled, I am already 2 miles into this hike. And the total hike, by the time I do my backtracking, a little bit off trail for photos, and grabbing the camera and setting things up and moving around, should be about 7.5 miles. And I'm already 2 miles into it, so that's pretty good. And I'm feeling great. I wish I was on the trail with Dale right now, because it feels good. Some important details that this conditioning outing might be lacking is that the trails out here at Angowanus Woodland are relatively smooth, relatively level, and lacking the tree roots, the elevation climbs, the descents, the rock-strewn trail that the Appalachian Trail consists of through the Great Smoky Mountains. The last thing that I want to do is get out there and not be able to hike that, since it's very difficult around here to condition. In Iowa, I haven't found anywhere where it's similar. But the closest thing would be maybe Yellow River State Forest, portions of that, but even that is a push. That's at least up and down. So I'll make the best of it and hope that if this all works out to hike with Dale, I don't slow things down, or I'm not too slow, because he won't slow down, and I don't blame him. But I want to be able to keep up. So we'll see how this works out. There is another reason why completing that section of the trail through the Smokies is so important to me, and that is to prove a point for myself. Early January of 2024, I took a fall, had a lot of work done, and ultimately I was told I would never backpack again, or I would never do the remote paddling trips that I used to do. Well, so far the remote paddling trips have proven correct. I got one in, but it was not fun. It was fun, but I paid for it. As for the backpacking, my extent so far has been just carrying this camera gear, and it works, but it's not without discomfort. So, you know, he said I wouldn't do it again, but I want to prove that I can do it, even if it's just 36 miles, even if it's just to get that stretch done. If I can do that, I'll feel good about it. I don't want to be told I can't do it. So that's probably the bigger thing about it, is I want to prove that I can't be told I'm not going to do it, and then I just accept it. I want to prove that I can do it. Early in the hike, I mentioned if I found a rub from a deer when they'd taken the velvet off the antlers, I would show you. And here is one. And this is actually quite a large tree. Quite often I see them do it on smaller trees, but that's a good sized tree to be doing that. Wonder if that means it's a big buck. I'm nearing the end of the hike, and according to my watch, I'm a little bit over 8 miles, which doesn't surprise me because I had to go back and forth to get my camera when I would do some of the scenes, and I also stepped off the trail when I saw interesting photo opportunities. That's okay. I proved I could do it. Well, I did it. This was a hike to prove something to myself and to condition in case I get to hike with Dale, Greybeard Sanders here in a few weeks. I don't know. If it works out, I will. If I don't get to hike with Dale, then I'll knock off those remaining miles on my own. If you like these kind of videos, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you would, and share it with those who aren't able to get out and do these kinds of things. And I do thank you for watching.